This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ikon Realty's Central Virginia Regional MLS class. We're going to be filling out the sales contract in Central Virginia. So the contract is different from Northern Virginia. It differs quite a bit, actually. Northern Virginia has many addendums and things that need to be included other than the regional sales contract, whereas Richmond, almost everything is included in the contract itself. I personally like it better, and again, I don't understand why Northern Virginia has a separate contract from Central Virginia. We're all Virginia. We should have one standard contract, but it's not up to me. Unfortunately, it's what the boards decide. Okay, but we're going to start with our scenario. We will start with what the scenario is. So currently, we have Jeff Gill. Okay, this is his email address. He would like to purchase the property at 2140 Oak Hampton Place in Henrico, Virginia, 23233. Here's the MLS number. He would like to offer 400,000. He would like to escalate up to 425. Earnest money deposit amount is $10,000. Conventional financing, 20% down. Settlement date is 6/6/2022. How did we come up with that date? Well, today is actually 5/4/2022. So it's roughly 30 days from the day we go. We present the offer, we send the offer. Technically, I like to try and make it 30 days from the time we go under contract. So this is assuming they're going to be reviewing offers within the next day and accepting within the next 2 days. That'll bring us to about 30 days. Now, some lenders can do it quicker, and in this market, that would help you, depending upon the seller situation. But check with your lender. Agents are like, well, how do I know if it's going to take 30 days or 45 days? Ask the lender. This is something you need to ask the loan officer. You're working hand in hand. You guys are teammates at this point. Call the lender and say, hey, look, I'm about to write an offer for our client, our mutual client. How many days do you think we can close? Usually they'll say anywhere from 30 to 45 days. I have actually worked with lenders and work with lenders that can get it done in 14 days. It just depends upon the type of loan and your client's ability to get documentation over to the lender in a timely manner. Okay. We'll be closing with Everest Title for this deal. A home inspection. He wants to put a home inspection in for 7 days. There's a financing contingency of 18 days and an appraisal contingency of 21 days. And this is the information we pretty much need in order to get started and write our purchase offer. So now what we'll do is we'll come to our dashboard. Okay. Those of you that are using Central Virginia, this is the dashboard. When you log in, you have your matrix here, and you have your transaction desk. The matrix is used to search properties. Transaction desk is where we write our contracts. Okay. So we will actually click on matrix because I want to pull up the property address and its details. While this loads, here we go. You can go through the entire search and find the property, but I'm going to use this shortcut bar because we have the MLS number. Okay, so to refresh my memory, the MLS number is right here. 221. Oh, actually, let's copy it. Copy 2210981. And we'll go to matrix. All right, let's enter in this information here. Search. And there's our property. Okay. This is the address. We have the tax information, photos, history, parcel. Currently, the listing isn't pending, but we're gonna act like it is active. List price is $335K. You know, you have all your MLS information here. I like to go through the pictures just to see the conveyances. Again, you have already done this because you're representing your client. You've probably toured the property, seen the inside, and you have all the details ready to write your offer. Okay, so single family home, it doesn't seem to be in an HOA or anything like that. And here are all the details. Okay, always read the remarks and agent remarks before sending an offer. I always read the remarks and agent remarks before showing the property. That way you get, you know, if there's any important information in regards to submitting an offer, it's going to be here if you haven't talked to the agent. Also, always make sure you give the agent a call and say, hey, look, I'm going to be submitting an offer. Is there any information that I need to know prior to writing an offer? Okay. And as you can see here, they have things like fireplace, chimney, flue, or as is. Seller will view any and all offers Monday after 4 p.m. Seller prefers 60 to 70 day closing or 30-day with rent back. Okay, so that's important to know. All right. That being said, if our client wants to close 6/6, that's only 30 days. Let's give them some more time. Or we can close the loan early, which is in 30 days, and then do, let's say, a 30-day rent back. I just, in this present market currently, I would suggest to just get the deal closed, you know, get the property in your client's hands and just do the 30-day rent back. But, you know, it really depends on your client situation. So here's a property information. Let's go ahead and get to our forms. So we're going to click here on transaction desk. All right. So I already created the transaction, but we're going to act like we're doing this for the first time. And actually, if I can, let me just delete the transaction so it doesn't create any problems for us. I'm going to click here and there should be an option to delete. Forms, details, dashboards, just click these. Ah, trash. Delete it. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. All right. Now let's go back to it as if we're just logging in. All right. Here we go. We're going to create a transaction here. Transaction name. Always name the transaction the property address. I always do it that way. You should always do that way. If you name it under the client, okay, say you put your client's name here, Jeff Gill. What if we don't get this house? Then you're going to create another transaction and you're going to name it Jeff Gill. You're going to get confused to what transaction is the current transaction for Jeff Gill. So always a property address type. This is a residential sale. Import the data from the MLS. The reason we do this is because it will make your life a whole lot easier. Okay, there's the MLS number. Who are we? We're the selling agent, right? We're not the listing agent, we're the selling agent. We're representing the buyer. Create. All right. As you create this transaction, there's a wizard here that pulls up with all the details, okay? Now, I like to try and fill it out here if I can. You know, it just makes life easier because it'll automatically import it all into the contract. Some agents just like to fill it out on the contract line by line. For I'm just going to go ahead and put the information, some of the pertinent information here. Whatever we're missing, we'll enter it into the contract. Okay, so let's just do our purchase price. If we go back to the details, let's go back. Oh, actually, you're right here. The details are. Oops, 1 second. All right, we'll just pull them up again. So the details. Here we go. All right, so Jeff wants to offer what? 400K, escalation up to 425, $5,000 increments, deposit is 10K, conventional financing 20% down, settlement date, Everest title. All right, here we go. Now, let's get back into it. All right, Jeff, so you want to start with 400K? Yes, 400, escalated to 425. All right, so 400,000 is our purchase price. Our deposit amount, we had 10,000. Okay, and if you do mess things up here, don't worry. We'll be able to change it in the offer. This is just, there's no such thing as additional offer, total financing. So what we can do is first mortgage balance. So we know Jeff is putting down, as per our information sheet, he's putting 20% down, right? So 400,000 minus the 20%, that's $80,000. So his first mortgage balance is going to be 320,000. Okay, there is no second balance. He's not doing anything with an additional deposit. Total financing again is going to be 320,000, right? And all this other stuff you can leave blank. These are not, it's not anything that you have to put into the contract, right? The main thing is the property information, and then, you know, they're just asking you the purchase price and all of that. Okay, so then we just hit next. Okay, here we go. List date, offer date is going to be today, right? We're not putting an offer expiration date in this market. The seller will make a decision when they want to, and you better wait, because if you put an expiration date, unless it's a really good offer, let's say it was a cash offer at 425, then you could say, you know what, seller, we want a response within 24 hours. Push them a little bit. But, you know, we do have a financing offer, and you should just wait until their offer deadline. Closing date, I think we had 6/6, but now, and okay, so we'll do it the 6/6, okay, and then we can do a seller rent back for the remaining time, because remember, they need 60 days at least. Funding date, you leave blank. Possession date, you leave blank. It already does that. Application date doesn't pertain to this, don't worry. Here we go. Next part now is contacts, okay? Who's a part of this contract? So it has Kathy, the selling agent, selling broker, listing agent, selling agent again. So there's a glitch here. I don't know why Kathy Grubb showed up. So I'm going to remove her. Delete. Yes. Okay. Because listing, selling broker. Okay, it's because the property is under contract. So it automatically pulled these details. Technically, when you're putting it on an active property, it's not going to pull that random detail, okay? It'll pull your information as a selling agent and listing agent information as it is, and the seller's information there. But who are we missing? We're missing our buyer. We need to add Jeff. All right, so we click on create new transaction contact. Contact type is a buyer. It's Jeff Gill. Oh, I already have his information here. So all you need is first name, last name, and email address. You don't do not get into all of this stuff, okay? And add it to the address book, because next time, say Jeff doesn't get this property, it'll automatically import his information, okay? So there we go. Our buyer's there. Let's go next. If there's 2 buyers, you just add them as well. Forms, okay? Here we go. So basically we need the contract to sale, and we need what else? Oh wow, Central Virginia Regional Purchase Agreements. Let's see what this is. And related forms. So addendum to residential listing agreement, and exclusive right to represent buyer. Let's see if they have a contract in here. Oh, there's our escalation addendum. So this is great. This is like if you're representing the buyer. That's what this folder is for. They've already created them for us. So now let's get so we need the escalation addendum, because remember we're doing an escalation up to 425. And we need this. Central Virginia Regional MLS Purchase Agreement. Home inspection. Everything is in this agreement. So there's like in Northern Virginia, we have to have separate addendums for those. For this, we don't. Okay. All right. There we go. That's 2 forms we need. We hit add. And here are our forms. I like to have actually the escalation addendum on top and then the contract. Now, there's going to be other forms that need to be added. For example, the seller's disclosures, as well as you should put your client's pre-approval letter in here as well. But to upload those documents, you don't do it through forms, because this is only going to show you what forms, okay? To add disclosures, you add it to this document section here. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do it next. You'll see. Okay. Here we go. Documents. Now, where are the disclosures? Where do you get the seller's disclosures? A lot of the times you call the agent and say, hey, I need the disclosures. Okay. But before doing so, if you come to the listing here, in here, they usually have the information here. Down here, you'll see these little boxes. You come to the one that looks like multiple pieces of paper. It says 2 supplements. Click that. That takes you, there we go. These are the disclosure forms we need. Once you click that, it shows you the forms, and you simply save them to your desktop. Okay, I've already saved them, but I'll teach you how to upload them now. So you save them, because your buyer will need to sign this as well, okay, in order for it to be a complete offer. So we come back here, we go click on add, you click on drag and drop, and click here, and there it is. I saved it to my desktop. There it is. And now you hit open. Boom. Now this document has been made a part of our transaction. Again, upload your MLS here too, okay? It helps. Not sure, sorry, your pre-approval letter for your lender. Because then when you send the contract, you can download it as one entire PDF and then email it to the listing agent. All right, so now we need to fill out our forms. Okay, so we have our document here, we have our forms here. Let's click on the purchase agreement first, because that's a pretty lengthy document and we need to fill it out. All right, here we go. Date, see, it already imported. It already imports seller's information. It imports purchaser's information, listing brokerage, selling brokerage, boom. Here's all the pertinent information you need. And if it doesn't pull this information for you, you can go back to the listing and get it from there. It's all there, okay? Here we go, personal property included. So In the Northern Virginia sales contract, we have check boxes for everything that's included, but this clearly states all these things like garbage disposal, range, oven, dishwasher, laundry tubs, attic fan, smoke detectors, heat detectors, awnings, electrical wiring. So they've already put that in there for you. Any additional stuff, let's say they're giving us a pool table or playground set, whatever it may be, you can add that here. Okay. The following addendums are made as part of this agreement. If the home was built prior to 78, we would click this and add a lead-based payment disclosure. Fortunately, it's not, so we're okay for this property. First right of refusal, if it was a short sale, as addendum, and any other. Well, there is another. We added the what? Escalation addendum, right? So we put that there. And if we have any others, you can put a comma and then list those other documents. Okay, so here we go. We're purchasing the property for $400K. Okay, this sale is not subject to financing. Purchasers will pay all cash closing by bank certified check out wire. Well, fortunately, our client doesn't have all that cash. So this sale is subject to financing. This is subject to purchaser being able to obtain or assume what type? Conventional loan. Okay. Loan in the principal amount of, how much is the loan amount? It's 80%, right? We're putting 20% down of the purchase price. Or blank, you can put the loan amount here if you want. Either way, or you could put $320,000 here. It's the same thing. But I'll just put 80% because it's easier. Fixed rate, not to exceed 5%. Now, where did Paneet get this information from? You get this information from who? The lender. Call your lender. Your lender's your friend. Okay? The lender will give you this information. Okay. An adjustable rate with the initial amount. Well, it's not an adjustable rate, so we leave that blank. And then the following loan shall be amortized over 30 years. Again, you get this information from your lender, but any loan that's 30 years, it's almost standard unless they do a 15-year or 20-year, but 30 is usually the most common. Shall require not more than a total of blank discount points and originations. This information is from your lender. Again, I usually put 0 because I'm not going to get into the specifics, but you should really ask your lender when filling this portion of the contract out. Okay, so agrees to pay at settlement the sum of blank towards purchaser's closing cost. I wish in this market we could, but if you are getting a seller subsidy, you click this box and you put the amount there. Appraisal, this is subject to the property being appraised. Hey, if your client has a boatload of money, they want to waive the appraisal contingency, this is where you would waive it. You would say is not subject, but ours is. And then the language is here. The appraisal shall be ordered within 15 days in the date of ratification. It shall be the responsibility of the purchaser to advise the purchaser's lender of this requirement. As soon as you're under contract, you or your purchaser, basically, really you should be like, hey, we're under contract, lender. You need to order the appraisal within 15 days. Deposit. Okay, purchaser shall make a deposit of $10,000. Who should it be held by? Hold it with the title company. Okay, ours is Everest Title here. We're going to hold it with Everest Title. Is it going to be check, cash, or other? I usually click check here, but if your clients don't have checks, then more than likely they're going to be wiring it. So what you can do here, if you don't know, I just do check/wire. That gives your client that option, okay? And this deposit will be deposited with the title company within 5 days of ratification. Agents like to put less time here. You do that, you're setting yourself up. Just put 5 days. If the listing agent has a problem with that and says, no, we want it within 3 days, we'll let them counter it. okay? But put 5 days. That should give you more than enough time for you to get the earnest money deposit from your client. And to be frank with you guys, I don't even take it from my client anymore. I make them send it directly to the title company right away, okay? I don't like having it in my hand and the responsibility on me to go deliver it. No, have the purchaser deliver it right away, okay? Settlement possession. Settlement should be made at the office of, again, it's going to be with the title company. So at Everest Title, on a reasonable date, time thereafter, if the purchasers are making diligent effort. So it's going to be this box. When did we say we were going to close on this? We said the 6th. Okay. Occupancy disclosure. Purchaser intent to occupy the property. My client is living there. They're not an investor. Okay. Disclosure. Property residential property disclosure. Seller is or is not subject. Well, they are subject to the original, because guess what? We downloaded that document. So, people are like, well, when are they not? Well, if this was an estate sale, they never lived in the property, they're selling it for their heirs. Well, they're not subject to some of the disclosures because they are only there selling the property. Okay, they never lived there. They don't know the ins and outs. They don't know anything about the property. And the disclosure is attached. Okay. Property Owners Association disclosure. Is this property in an HOA? No, it is not. Okay, if it was, you would click yes. Simple. It is not a condominium. Okay, property inspection. Are we waiving the inspection? No, as per we wanted to do the inspection. So seller will grant the purchaser right to have the property inspected. Okay. Purchaser provides seller with all inspection reports, cost of repairs, and purchase written repairs no later than, I always try, in this market, they're going to push you to do this as fast as possible if they give you the opportunity to do a home inspection, but I try to do it within 7 days. That means you have to have the inspection done in 7 days, and any repair list needs to be sent to the seller within those 7 days. Okay, that doesn't mean you have 7 days to do the inspection and then you have a day or two to send the repair list. No, everything needs to be done within 7 days. So at minimum, I put 5 days here, but try to get 7 if you can for your client, because you don't know what if the home inspector is not available. What if there's delays? Yes, you can ask for extensions, but if the seller doesn't grant it, they don't grant it. Okay. Optional paragraph. This paragraph is or is not applicable. If no box is checked, then this paragraph is not applicable. If the paragraph is applicable, okay, so if we do click is, purchaser is, if applicable, and purchaser is dissatisfied with their inspection results of the property, then in lieu of submitting a repair request to the seller, purchaser may instead terminate this agreement by written notice to seller prior to the inspection deadline. However, okay, if the purchaser submits a repair request to the seller, then the purchaser waives their right to terminate this agreement pursuant to this paragraph. Basically, what this is saying is, let's say your client is just dissatisfied after the home inspection and they don't even want to send a repair list. Well, and they just want to back out. Well, you can say this paragraph is applicable. But if you don't select this box, then your client has to give a repair list and has to give the seller the opportunity to agree to those repairs. Okay, you can't just back out because the seller may be willing to do everything. But in some instances, some buyers just don't care if the seller is going to fix it or not. They don't feel comfortable. They don't want to move forward. Okay, it's happened in many instances. So you can click this box and let them counteroffer and say, no, our seller wants to have the opportunity to have a repair list and try to make repairs. Doesn't matter what the condition of the property is. They want to have the opportunity. But here you go. I included it in our contract. Home warranty insurance. Well, we're not asking for one, so we're going to leave that. Additional terms. If you have any additional terms, you put it here. All right. Now, well, septic, or municipal systems. Municipal means public, okay? I mean, the county or the city provides the water and sewer. Well and septic, of course, you guys know, is your own well water when you purchase, and you're responsible for that. And septic is your own disposal, right? Septic system, your own sewage. So this property is on municipal water system, so public water and municipal sewer. If it was not, and there was a well or sewer, or let's just say if there was a well, but it was municipal sewage, I've seen that before. Or let's say there's municipal water and there's a septic system, seen that as well. You would check those boxes accordingly, okay? If it is a well or a septic and other inspections need to be done, you would select these. These do not pertain to our current sale, so we are not worried about it. Okay, seller shall furnish purchaser with an inspection report dated not limited to 30 days prior to settlement from Virginia licensed termite control company concerning the presence of or damage from termites. Okay, if this line is here for if there are any additional structures, okay, other than the primary dwelling. Okay, I think, you would add those other dwellings that one tested here. Okay, if the total cost to fulfill seller's repairs of treatment obligations set forth in paragraph F and G above exceed a blank repair limit, the seller shall have the option to fulfill the repair obligations set forth in the options. Purchasers shall have the right to either accept the property in its present condition, or the seller would have to make the repairs. If no repair limit is entered in the paragraph, the repairer agree that the amount shall be $1,000. I'll just put about 1,500 in there. Put it on the seller as much as you can. Okay, VA FHA loans or special provisions, mechanics liens, acceptance. Okay, this is that if you want to put an offer deadline in there. I would not suggest it in this current market. They're going to laugh at you. Okay, unless the property's been on the market for, let's say, 3 weeks, they don't have any offers, go ahead, put an offer deadline. Say, hey, we want a response within 24 hours. And if not, our contract is null and void. Okay. Yeah. Here's your agent information. Make sure you have your cell phone number there. Or your primary number, whatever that is, where you receive calls on. Office fax is not necessary, and it fills in all the other information for you. All right, believe it or not, you need to click save. Okay, we're done with the contract. That's how amazing Central Virginia is. Northern Virginia takes a little bit longer, and forget about Maryland or DC. It's just so many disclosures. But now what we're going to do is we're going to come here, and what this does is any other forms in your transaction, they're right here. So the next one we're going to do is the escalation addendum. All right, it has us, the date, it has a seller's information. If you want, you should, seller's names are not, you can't read both of them here. So I'm just going to cut this person's name and then add it here. Just so for the sake of the contract, you can read it better. Jeff Gill is there. Okay. If seller receives one or more bona fide written offers to purchase the property prior to ratification and delivery of the purchase agreement, then the purchase price in the purchase agreement shall be increased by, this is your escalating factor, we said $5,000 over the purchase price set forth in the highest bona fide written offer received by the seller, net or of seller concessions, but not to exceed $425. Okay, there you go. Our escalating factor is $5,425. Somebody submits an offer at $430, we're out. We don't get it. If somebody submits an offer at $405 and that's the only offer, well, guess what? We're going to get it at 410. Okay. But this is the escalation in them. Simple. Central Virginia makes it pretty easy. Make sure you save. Okay. Next. All right. So now we have our documents, right? We have our transaction. We have our documents. Now, though, we need to send them to our client for electronic signature. So what do? We go to signings here. Okay. You add a signing. It's already here because I've done a training before, but just add. Send to classic is fine. All right. Which transaction is it? Okay, there's a transaction name, signing name. Again, I make it the property address. Save. Call save. Here we go. Don't touch anything extra. You don't need these advanced options. Do not touch them. Sign in line and simul sign. What this means is signing participants sign in order. So if you want to go to the wife first and then the husband, or you want somebody signed first, you click this box. I always do simul sign, meaning, hey, the wife opens it first, she signs first, it's fine. If the husband opens it first, he signs first, it's okay. Okay. There's really no order it needs to be in when you're sending a purchase offer. Okay. Next, we go to participants. And we select participants. Who are our participants? Who needs to sign this offer? Just Jeff. If Jeff had a wife or a spouse or a friend or whoever else was buying this with him, then you could click them as well. But it's just Jeff. He's remotely signing because he's not with me today. But let's say Jeff is sitting right next to me, okay, and wants to sign the contract. You would say in-person signer, okay? But Jeff, remote signer. He's not here today. Documents now. We need to select the documents we need Jeff to sign. And guess what? It's all three of these. And there we go. Add. All right, so we have our escalation addendum, we have our purchase agreement, and we have our residence property disclosure acknowledgement. Okay, so now we click on design. All right. Here we go. Here's our document. So it already put Jeff's information on the escalation addendum. And unlike Northern Virginia realtors, where you have to initial each and every page, which is tiring to drag and drop all the initials, simply they've already put it here. Now, this document is just a document, okay? So they didn't put it here, right? Because it wasn't a form that we filled out. It was a document that we uploaded. So now we need to add Jeff's signature. How do we do that here, right? Because he has to sign it. So you select the signer. Well, it's only Jeff. Drag and drop. Sign here. Initial here. Now, you will only use what's in red. Okay, sign here or initial here. Do not use sign up, initial group. These green ones are optional. And a lot of the times our clients don't know that and they'll just click right past it, okay? So sign here, the red one, makes them click there to sign. Okay, you need to put the date as well. So the date will automatically generate once he signs it. So again, if you need initials, you can drag it here. But let's say, oh my goodness, this was an accident. Okay, delete it. This is pretty awesome because you can also do markups. So let's say there was a clause in here. We needed to add something in writing. We would click on the T and it would bring up a box and testing. You can add language too, okay? This is great during counter offers. Say you need to strike a line through something, bam, okay? delete. But this is great when you're counter offering, okay? You upload the documents when it's a counter offer, and then you can edit them here. You know, you can cross out and write the new terms below and then have your client initial. But that's all. We just need to add Jeff. We hit next. So now all the documents are going to be, you can send the invitation. You can customize an email, okay? It automatically already has something there for you. But if you want, you can say purchase offer for to sign. Hi, Jeff. Please, it's going to be in a link format. Please click the link below to sign the purchase offer. Okay, so, and then you would hit save. But here, I never do that. It already has an email format set up, and I just say send invitation. When I send the invitation, it says it's been sent. Click OK. And you'll automatically receive an email as soon as it is, you know, as soon as they sign. But you can watch it here. It'll say status in progress. Once he's signed, you'll know. And then you can download. You can see the history. You can open the signing. You can delete it. You know, but it's great. It's a great. I love Transaction Desk. We used to actually use it at Northern Virginia Association of Realtors. They stopped now and now have Docs Plus, which is fine. But Transaction Desk is pretty awesome. And that concludes our class for today, guys. I hope you learned a lot. If not, reach out. There's a secret passcode, and it is Ikon Realty 2020. Okay, so anyways, you guys will know what that's for. But thank you for joining, and if you have any questions, reach out anytime.